And that card's blank. Timer ready? Go.
Seconds. One minute.
My father always challenged me to look forward, to try and visualize what I wanted in the future, and then try and make it a reality in that split second. And keeping that notion in mind, I'd like to take a look at the quotation given to us today. The future is already here. It's just not very evenly distributed. And to this I would have to agree. Because it's that sense of bringing what you want and having it in a single moment that is what's being explicated here. But to go into further detail on this, I'd like to break it down into 3 separate examples. One, looking at the work of Andy Warhol. The next, looking at the notions by Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And then third, looking at the technological revolution we are currently experiencing. So first off, when we think of Andy Warhol, we automatically think Marilyn Monroe, because she is the main subject in many of his artworks. We also have Campbell's soup. We think it's yummy, but it's more than just a treat. And to Mr. Warhol, they were inspirations. He is known as the father of pop art, but on his way to gaining the successful title, we have to take a look at the fact that he brought the future to himself. It is famously noted that once he first created the Marilyn Monroe piece, a critic hated it so much, he actually peed on it. And Mr. Warhol took this as a valid critique. And instead of completely stopping what he was doing, changing the direction, he saw his future and he made it his present. So instead, he continued to go on and create more works of pop art. And in doing so, created his own genre and gained the title of the father of pop art. And in doing so, the future was already in his lap, but it was not evenly distributed. It was within his time period, because he was the single person doing it when he did so. We not only look at the work by Andy Warhol, we can also look at different notions made by several different philosophers. We start with the first, Socrates. He challenges people to look up at the sky for inspiration, and then look down on the ground for what is around you, and then to draw them together to try and create whatever you may see. And then we look at Plato, and we notice that he takes Socrates' notions of the sky and the ground, but he challenges you to expand your vision to not only what's in front of you, but what surrounds you as a whole, looking at it at a 360-degree angle. And then we look at Aristotle, and he brings these 2 theories together, and then further challenges you to look what's inside of yourself. And we see through all 3 notions and all 3 philosophers, they are challenging you to look at what is to come and making it your present. When Socrates challenges you to look up and down, he is challenging you to look forward. When Plato says to look at what's straight in front of you, he challenges you to consider those around you. And then when Aristotle says to consider the world as a whole, it's based on a community, challenging you to see what differences you can make to bring that future to your present. and to make it not evenly distributed, because it is going to be your doing, your power, your succession in these teachings. But we can not only look at philosophers, we also look at the technological revolution that is currently happening. Within the last 20 years, we've seen a boom in technology. Whether it be going from the dial tone to our cell phones that are basically mini computers, or the Google cars that are driving around the streets of California. With both of these inventions, they help enhance the lives of the people around us, and in turn, make us look at what the future could be like and are bringing it to the present. And we see in doing so, though, that the future is not evenly distributed because this has happened within such a short time span. These types of inventions would have never been thought as possible within our lifetime, but were anyways. So, when we are given the quotation, the future is already here, it's just not evenly distributed, I'd have to agree. Because of Warhol's work, the teaching of philosophers, and the revolution we experience today. Thank you.